We have a rising action. Then we have our climax.
What's the climax?
That's when you start crying.
Yeah.
That's when I start crying.
Yeah.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Verified. My name is Carlos.
My name is Shane.
Today, we have the next generation, the next Warren. Actually, think of Warren Buffett and Mark Cuban had a baby, right? And that baby lived in Apex. Well, this is our guest today. He's going to be talking about the stock market and how it works, how he got into it, how to invest, how not to invest, and where he wants to go with in the future. Garrison, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, this is going to be very interesting.
Oh, it will be.
So when did you start getting to like businessy stuff and like what got you interested in it?
So I've always been interested in business. I never really understood what it was until I reached high school. First class I took was Mr. Jackson's personal finance class. And that was one of the best classes for me to take early on in high school because it was like, there is this whole new world of information that I've never seen before. After taking that class, the question was still on my mind. Like we had learned about investing in that class, but we didn't learn about how to invest your money. That summer into sophomore year, I was a lifeguard. I worked at a pool and I made probably like $1,200, $1,600. And I was like, okay, got this money now. What am I going to do with it? I bought $1,200. Yeah, it was $1,200 of Fitbit, the Fitbit stock.
Why Fitbit?
That's a very good question. I have no idea. When I look back on it now, I'm like, why in the world would I put my money into a company that like I invested all my money into one stock. Later that year, the stock went from $6.50, which is what I bought it, to $5.50. So I was down like 200, I don't know, probably around $200, right? And I was like, man, how did I lose this money already? I basically had to hold on to that stock until it went back up, then went a little bit higher and I sold, and then it went back down to 5. I made literally majority of the mistakes you can make first starting out. I was 16, so I do give myself a little bit of leeway. There's a couple things you should and shouldn't do when investing your money, and I'm still doing some of those things you shouldn't do because I'm still young and I'm still risking my money, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Almost 11th grade, I opened up a Robinhood account. I was trying to learn how to day trade with $450. It was like 1/4 of my money. Every time I lost money through a day trade, which was about half the time, I would freak out and I would sell it. And every time I would be down on a trade, I would freak out and sell it right away. And so it never worked. Day trading sucked and I could never get used to it. I didn't understand how it worked, first of all, so I should have never tried it. Basically just gambling with money and hoping a stock is going to go down. I'm pretty sure I took my account from $450 up to $650. I made 3 mistakes and I was down to 120.
Oh my God. Oh,
3 mistakes.
You
Yeah.
want to talk about what they were?
I was trading a natural gas ETF, which is basically just a stock. When the price of gold goes up, the price of one of these ETFs will go up that same amount, but times 3. So 3 times whatever it went up. And then the opposite ETF, they've got one for when it goes up and they have one for when it goes down. So say natural gas price fell from 5 or gold price fell from $5 to $3. That's like 40%.
Yeah.
You times that by 3. It's very, very confusing. And it also lost me a ton of money. So I do not suggest anyone do that.
With school and trying to balance all of that, how did that work?
I didn't balance school. So I would sit in class and trade.
Really?
Oh my God.
So that's why sophomore year, Garrison did not get the best grades. I didn't try very hard, but I would literally sit in class for a full semester. For 2 of my classes, I would sit there and trade until I was literally sweating because I was so afraid of what I had just done. Like, oh no, I just lost like $15. Oh no. Yeah, no, it was very, very bad. Also, day trading just sucks. I was successful day trading 3 times in my life for pretty decent amounts of money, but that was all during coronavirus. I bet against the US stock market. Those ETFs I was talking about earlier, I bought into one. Within 1 week, it went from $40 to $1,200. Like that's what the stock went to.
Wow.
I bought in at $300 and then I bought in again at $600. So I bought majority of my, like I put almost all my money against the stock market. And that's another reason why the stock market fell so hard during COVID is a lot of people were taking their money out of stocks and betting against the US stock market.
Wait, so betting against it as in like you're betting on the fact that it's going to go down?
Yes. This is what happened to me when I was day trading. Like I literally took accounts up a couple $100. And then as soon as I did, I was like, oh my gosh, this works. I'm doing well. And then I lost like $1,000 in a day each time. So it's like literally, and it wasn't that like, it was literally one small mistake each time. And it took me a year and a bit to get back all my money using trading. So like today I have made money in the stock market, but it's been 3 years. And I like, just since coronavirus and because of that bet I made, I'm up today. Like, so yeah, no, day trading sucks.
What's the minimum amount of money you could put into the stock market?
25 cents.
I really want to know, like, where do you want to take this in the future?
Yeah, I want to drop all of my investments and basically go into long-term stuff. Probably this year or next year. I may continue doing small amounts of investing because I do enjoy some aspects of it, but I'm talking like maybe $200 investments, $200 trades. Try to grow a $200 account to however much I can. Or if I lose it all, I lose it all. I want to do entrepreneurship. I want to work in startups. I want to do internships with startups. Yeah, startups are definitely the way I'm focusing my life around right now.
So inside of entrepreneurship, what's like your biggest dream?
I want to be able to open up, work with startups as well as create startups. Like, I don't have any ideas currently. Like, I've got ideas of what I want to do internationally, like partnering with local things in Uganda. Like, I was raised in Uganda, so I moved there at 3. And I lived there until I was like 11. I've worked with this one guy. He's been great. He's taught me so much about entrepreneurship and basically how to do startups. He's basically made his career in startups and he's opened up 2 coffee shops. He's opened up a couple businesses in the past. He's also worked with other startups, but I understand a lot more about startups and how this kind of sector of the US economy works now.
Hypothetically, I had to like left you money in either, I guess, a Roth IRA or you were to take it out to pay off some credit card debt. Would that be a good option for you?
Yes. And majority of the time, some of the time people think it's better to keep your money in investments instead of paying off debt. Debt has an interest rate. So every year that will compound the same way that investments will compound. Yeah. So you can either choose to pay off your debt or you can choose to keep your money in a smart investment that makes basically the same percent year over year. Basically make smart financial decisions. So don't go into credit card debts. Don't do these things unless you have to. I would say save some of your money, pay off some of your debt.
Do you recommend not paying taxes? When you're at the grocery store and it's like tax.
And it's
like when they're like,
automatically no.
Yeah, like so like the cashier's like, oh, you left out your tax. Cashier's like, you left out your tax. Are you free to just punch them at that point?
Yeah,
just
basically.
run away.
I think that's a really good question, Shane. I thank you for bringing that up.
All right.
I didn't know. That's a good question. So I want to take that same Roth IRA question. You pull that money out because a new Pokemon set came out that might potentially have a Charizard.
A nice shiny Charizard.
A nice shiny Charizard.
Shane, get back here. Shane, have you been watching too much of Logan Paul and?
No, I'm more of a collector than Logan Paul will ever be. Okay.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, if that's something you really personally want to do and you don't have to worry about college, or if you're going to spend a decent amount of your money, go for it. It's your money. If you don't make all that money back and you're fine with that, like seriously, go for it. Because that's something you want to put your money to, something you want to invest your money into. Like, just don't be in a bad financial place.
Garrison, you got anything, any social media, any YouTube, Instagram you want to plug?
Currently got an Instagram called Football Fan Gar, and it's just me going and playing soccer and taking soccer shots. So if you want to follow and go see some bangers, go definitely check that out. Also, I post them on YouTube. That's also Football Fan Gar.
Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you want to help us out, follow us on whatever podcast platform you're listening on right now. now. If you want to check us out on Instagram, we're called verified.talk on Instagram. And yeah, guys, new upload schedule is now every Friday. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you guys next Friday for a new interview.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
Verified LLC is not responsible for any financial losses you may occur due to listening to the advice on this channel.
Invest.